Hey, hey, hey. It's your girl, Shy Roseland. How's everybody doing? This is another episode of Notes from the Audience. Um, it's basically I'm commenting on the commentary. I do not use clips in my videos, and I am not providing any type of legal, medical, or accounting advice. Please consult a professional in that whatever area you need advice in. I am not a YouTube theologian. I stay away from such things. I am a humble, sometimes practicing Catholic, but I grew up amongst different denominations, so I pretty much can get along with anybody. And I am not an expert in any denomination. Um and well, maybe Catholic I can talk about a little bit, but any other denomination, nah, I leave that to the YouTube theologians. Um Today was a very special day. Today, April 30th, the man that everyone has been talking about, Brian Carn, was sentenced to 9 months in prison for lying on his tax returns. And you can basically visit any of the major big time church YouTube channels to get the details, because in some of them, the court documents were read. But basically, he lied on his taxes for several years. There are several years of taxes that he has not filed yet. Um, there was a plea deal. He pleaded guilty. There was a deal offered. The U.S. government was looking for 18 to 24 months, I believe. He received 9 months. Plus, he has to repay the government about $600,000. So that's the gist of it. What I found interesting today was the commentators. Oh my lord! When the news hit, I mean, every church blogger popped up. I couldn't keep up with y'all. I really could not keep up. I was in the doctor's office and I looked at my phone and I saw Miss Cruz's um announcement. And hold on, I'm gonna find the title of it. Let me get the title, because the title had me dying. Her title said, okay, her title said, "Them church folk pulled up on Thais." I call him the penguin, by the way. So if I say penguin, that's what I'm talking about. But I saw that title. That was the first title I saw. I wanted to laugh so bad, but I couldn't because I was sitting in the exam room with my brother, so I couldn't laugh out loud. But I chuckled. We got in the cab to go home, and I chuckled all the way home. I got home and I spent my day listening to everybody's announcements. Miss Cruiser had me dying. Please go check out her channel, by the way. And she was breathless in her announcement, and she she said that basically that the Penguin had gone live like right after they came out the courthouse. Apparently, went live and was talking about the was making the announcement himself, and I was quite surprised to find out that he was there. He was actually the first one to make the announcement. um my money was on St. James, so I was kind of surprised that the Penguin actually was out there first. And Pam Esquire, please check out her channel. She is an attorney. She's covered several high profile cases and she's very good at it. And I do enjoy her channel. So what made it what made me chuckle was What I heard was that Thais was out there. Well, the Penguin, I'm sorry, was out there doing his thing, and the some church members had shown up in support of their pastor, and they, hmm, how can I say this nicely? They approached the Penguin. I did hear a bit of his live. I was trying to listen to it. Um, and I did hear someone say he's one of them. And then I did hear him say, like he was kind of going back and forth with somebody. And unfortunately, I had to take a phone call, and I got off the phone, and within like 20 minutes or so, I he put the thing on private. So, well, he put it behind a paywall, which the Penguin tends to do. Anytime he says something, if you have to catch him live, you really have to catch him live, because he will just throw it behind a paywall within minutes. So, but I did hear the next person I heard was Uncle Tim. Uncle Tim had me on the floor. His thumbnail for his comments was a group of ladies in church hats. And let me get his title. Hold on. I have to find his title. It was come on, where's it? It's the title. Come on, Uncle Tim. Where's your title? Oh my goodness. Hold on. Because his title had me on the floor. Um I'm sorry, y'all. I should have pulled up the title beforehand. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Um, where is it? Where is it? Oh, okay, here we go. The title for Uncle Tim's video was "The Carn's Church Ladies Throw Down," and the thumbnail had me on the floor. So if you want a good laugh, check those two folks out first, Miss Cruiser and Uncle Tim, Timothy Blaine. Check those two out first, and then you can watch everybody else, because everybody else's commentary was pretty straightforward. It was basically the announcement. um I know St. James had some discussion, but I know for for him and his folks, it was early in the morning, so they didn't stay on too long. um Juice Radio and Talk Show, she talked about it. And she's another channel y'all really need to check out. Um, and she was actually live tonight again. She had a guest, and they had a more in depth discussion. So it was really worth checking out. And of course, King Jives had to put his into. I have to finish listening to his. And who else? Um, St. James, King Jives, Juice Radio, Miss Cruiser, Uncle Tim, and there was somebody else I need to. Oh, well, I haven't had a chance to watch Social Fire yet. I mean, the content will be contenting over the weekend, so there's gonna be a lot of replays and stuff that I'm going to need to catch up on. But oh, quite a bit to listen to today. And this Brian Carn thing was like the big lawsuit um of currently going on. Everybody was anticipating what was going to happen. Um, my bet was he was going to get 24 months, but the judge decided to do otherwise. Hey, um, and I was also kind of surprised that the Penguin came out first. Like I said, I didn't know he was going to be at the courthouse. He did not announce it from the little bit of the live that I was actually able to catch on his channel today. He said he kept it quiet because he didn't want people to know he was going. Hey, and do you, boo? Um, so that was quite a surprise. So at the moment, the Penguin seems to be winning the views um because he came out first, and he's had, I think, two lives or so after that. Um, Larry Reed also did come out with something. I have not watched it, so I don't know what his comments were. He came out with something this afternoon. I did see the headline pop up, but I haven't watched it. Um, so it seems like Juice Radio will probably be second place because she came up, had like two discussions, and her channel's really good. So so it seems to be between the Penguin and Juice Radio talk show. So it will be interesting to see how what happens with the next big lawsuit that's coming up, which is, of course, Archbishop Jordan versus everybody. And I have to say that because he is kind of suing everybody. Um, so yeah, that's the next big one everyone's going to be waiting for. I think in that case, um, I know there's one default judgment request that's in. I've heard that Larry Reed waived service, I guess. So um I guess he's got his attorney to do whatever they're going to do. And there are other people that have not yet been served. That's what I heard. That's the word on the curb. I would say go look up the paperwork and Pacer and see for yourselves. Um, what else? Oh, yes, yes, yes. There is a channel that I have discovered. It's called Uncle Paul's Thoughts. I have shouted him out on my community wall, or community page, or whatever you want to call it now. Go and check him out. It does AI musicals to the things that are going on, and they are hysterical. Some of the music are bangers. I have there's one church drama part 2, and there's a song, and I've played that song a dozen times, and I just rock out to it every time I hear it. There's something going on in church. Oh my lord, it's a banger. I love that song. So definitely check out his channel, please. I found him through St. James, but yes, Uncle Paul's Thoughts. Definitely go check him out. Um, let's see. So yeah, other than that, it's been the usual, um, people kind of demanding likes and um asking for monetary support, which makes sense because that's how YouTube operates. Um, the usual, people spying on other people's Patreons, and people joining other people's Patreons, or sending people to join the Patreon so they can spy on the other content creators that they don't like. Um, the chess game has changed a bit now that the Brian Carn stuff is pretty much done. He reports to and Brian Carn apparently has 45 days to get his affairs in order. And then he needs to report. Um, and so that's kind of okay. That's coming to a conclusion. So we shall see what happens with the next big lawsuit that's coming up the pike. Um, it's going to be in Newark, New Jersey. So um, I'm not going to go. I'm not that close to Newark, so I won't be going. If if the lawsuit were in New York City, I would consider jumping on a subway and going up there. But it's in Newark, New Jersey, so no, I won't be going. Um, but we shall see how that plays out. Because, like I said, he's suing everybody. Um, and one thing about that, there is something that another content creator kind of hinted at, um, that the lawsuit is basically trying to shut down people and to prevent people from being critical. And I've mentioned this before too. When the first thing came out, when it first came out about um the when the Archbishop Jordan's lawsuit came out, one of my questions, and as a matter of fact, I had this question when he was trying to gather the content creators together and they went to Florida. My One of my questions was, is he trying to kind of gentrify YouTube and gather these people together so they're not going to be critical of him? And now with the lawsuit, I'm asking that question again. Is he suing everybody to just shut everybody up? And I'm asking that question again because there is a person that's listed in that lawsuit as a defendant who has been critical of Archbishop Jordan, but has not well, I can't definitively say he hasn't defamed him, but he had he had Archbishop on his program, what, once or twice, and all of a sudden this person's listed as lawsuit in the lawsuit. It makes no sense. It still doesn't make any sense. So that question, I raised that question again because Archbishop Jordan's doing it, and then I think there was a lawsuit. The Kojic sued somebody, and they lost one lawsuit. They lost. I think there's another one floating around out there, but that's the same thing. They tried to shut somebody down so that they couldn't talk about them. So I'm wondering, is this going to become some kind of trend? So that's the question. That's my question of the hour. So I just something. What's that saying? Something in the milk ain't clean. I think that's what they say. And some it just something just doesn't pass the smell test. But again, I guess we'll have to wait and see how the lawsuit comes through, um and see what happens from there, and we'll just have to follow along. um and let's see what else. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm seeing it as a member of the audience. I guess congratulations goes out to the Penguin for being first online. Um, and we'll just have to see from there. We'll see what the next major scandal is, and we'll just keep it going. And I think that kind of wraps things up for now. But likes are free, sharing is caring. Um, Respectful comments are always welcome as usual. My Cash App is under my name. If you're interested, not mandatory because I'm not monetized on YouTube. I'm an itty bitty channel. So, but if you want to pop me a cash app, go for it. Um, and yes, I will be back with Beat and Chat. I am actually um itching to do. I'm feeling motivated to do a project, so I want to try and do something this weekend, and hopefully I can get a project in. I don't know which day yet. I don't know what time. When I pop up, I pop up, and if you catch me, you catch me. I am planning to create a new art studio. I think I mentioned this before. I'm taking over my mother's bedroom and I'm going to convert it into my art studio, so I have room to take more space to take pictures, and more space to work, and storage and all that good stuff. Um that has been It's going to be emotional for me because it means cleaning out my mom's bedroom. Um, so I'm slowly easing myself into doing that. And of course I'm still in the midst of settling her affairs. I have a few bits of paperwork that still need to be done, so I'm plowing through that too. And but it's getting there. It's getting there. Physically I feel okay. Um I still have my days, as I've said on my other wellness playlist. There are days that are okay and days that are not okay. So, but I'm slowly getting back into the swing of things, and I appreciate everyone's patience. I did get another custom order request. I'm working on it. You know who you are. And if you're interested in a custom order, if you're looking into doing something, wanting me to do something, let me know. Reach me through Instagram, Pond's Edge Designs. That's the best way to hit me up. And I can't promise an exact shipping date, but I'll talk about that more when I get into Beat and Chat, hopefully this weekend. So in the meantime, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, a great weekend ahead, and I will see you guys on the next one.